Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hi. Okay, so we'll quickly start. What all we studied yesterday? Akshay?
Ma'am, skeletal system.
Okay, what we studied yesterday?
Axial, appendicular, under axial, skull, facial bone, ear ossicle, hyoid. Hyoid is one. Ear ossicle.
Skull
There are,
different and ear ossicle different.
ma'am,
Is skull, ear ossicle, facial bones different?
ma'am, under the skull, they are there.
Okay.
Ma'am, then we
Under
learned,
the skull, what all are there?
ma'am, skull has cranium.
Okay.
And then in cranium, it has cranium, facial bone, ear ossicle, hyoid.
Okay, very good. Then
And then in the cranium, there is frontal, parietal, occipital, epimoid, and sphenoid.
very good.
And then in facial, there is lacrimal, lacrimal, palatine, mandibulus, mandible, maxilla, front. Oh, no. Then there is, what is that? I keep forgetting the name. Wait. I know.
Okay, tell me.
I mean, I told in face there are lacrimal, palatine, mandible, maxilla. Then nasal is there, and other one I don't know. Forgot.
Good. Not bad. Zygomatic.
And then ear ossicle, three are there. Stapes, that is theorem shaped. Incus, that is that anvil shape. Malleus is hammer shape.
Okay.
And then hyoid is 1. Totally 28 plus 1, 29.
Good.
Totally in axial, there are 80. We learned only 29.
Okay. So this is we finished skull, right? So now what we have to start with is the remaining parts. Okay, so your action consists of vertebrae, ribs, and sternum, right? So we'll study rib, sternum. You already know the ribs part because I taught you earlier. So we'll just quickly revise that. And like sternum, there is nothing very special to know about. That is also very easy. Like the sternum structure, even though it is a single rod like piece-like structure, there are some points that you need to learn about it. Then
Yes.
we'll study about the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle.
Oh, pectoral is shoulder blade, shoulder bone. Pelvic is hip.
Correct. Okay, so just a second. Let me just open this up. Where is it, guys? Okay. So we'll start with the vertebrae. So as I said, the vertebrae are like in columns. Okay, like there are separate disc-like structures which are stacked upon one
Oh, we
another.
learned about condyle also.
Yeah,
We are
condyle.
dicondylic. That is, we have two condyles popping out. That's why we can't turn our head 180 degree like birds. Birds are monocondylic.
Correct. Yes. Okay.
Condylic are projections from the occipital bone.
Oh, very good. I'm very proud of you. Okay. So vertebral column is basically, as I said, like small disc-like structures which are placed above one another. The major function of vertebral column is to protect your spinal cord. Okay. So now the notochord gives rise to the vertebral column.
Notochord is vestigial, no?
No, notochord is not vestigial.
It's a notochord during the birth, baby time.
Yeah, during the growth. Okay, so that is what connects us all together, all the like vertebrate. Okay, so what is the speciality of all the vertebrates? We all had notochord at one point of our life.
Hmm.
Okay, and that developed into the vertebral column.
So basically, when we were like very small, like 1 year old.
Yeah, you can say that. Then once again, just a second. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Then when we talk about the naming of the vertebral column, it's basically based on the region it is present or the cavity it is present.
Hmm. Oh yeah, we learned lumbar.
Yes. So I already told you, like all these are present in disc forms. Okay. Except the last two set of
That is
vertebrae.
the tailbone.
The tailbone and
Vestigial.
the sacrum bone. Okay.
Hmm.
These are like separate bones, but they are not present separately. They're fused together.
So our ancestors had tails. Though.
Yes, our ancestors did have tails. That's a part of evolution.
Even
So the
early
present,
humans had tail. Oh.
yes. So in order to connect, even some kids are still born with a small tail-like projection.
Whoa.
Like it's very rare, but there has been cases like which have been reported.
Hmm.
Okay. So like vertebral column, the main thing is, as I said, it covers the spinal cord. But apart from doing that also, it is also a support for the ribs. So your ribs are also connected to the spinal cord. Vertebral column.
Hmm.
From the back side, the ribs are all the ribs, if you see, are connected to the vertebral column.
Hmm.
Okay. Next is the vertebral column also gives you a structure to stand. So probably if you don't have the vertebral column, you won't be able to stand straight.
Hmm.
Okay. Definitely you will bend off. Like that support from the back is given by your vertebral column. Okay. So when you talk about the vertebral column, as I said, it is made up of disc-shaped structures. So this is how each disc-shaped structure looks like.
Hmm.
Okay. So like it's called the centrum or the body.
Anterior is from front side.
Anterior is from the front side.
From the anterior part, we can feel it by touching our back or posterior part.
We can feel both the parts.
How?
Here, when I'm saying anterior, posterior, no, I am talking about top and bottom.
Oh.
Once again. No. Sorry. So basically, anterior, posterior is like left and right. So when it is placed, if you are turning back, towards the inner would be your anterior, towards outer would be your posterior.
So we are feeling the posterior part.
We are feeling the posterior.
Hmm.
Okay.
How
So
much force is required to break the bone, ma'am?
it's actually no much force is required. You can easily break. If you're talking about breaking your vertebral column, no.
Hmm.
Instead of breaking it, you can easily slip it.
Oh yes, hip disc will slip now.
Yes, that's why whenever they do the weightlifting or any dance movements, okay, so they be very extra cautious. Even though we don't see it, you have to be very extra cautious. The reason is because easily the disc can slip, and this is a very major problem in many of the people, like in this particular century, because of our lifestyle. We have a very monotonous lifestyle, right? So when we suddenly start doing some exercise or something, we do it wrong, for sure the disc will slip, and that is a huge problem and a huge painful process.
Hmm. Ma'am,
Okay.
if this slips, how do we know it slipped?
You will end up having severe pain, a pain that generally people can't tolerate.
Hmm.
Okay. So
How will they put it back?
yeah, so there are like operations that can be done if it is not a major slip or major problem. Okay, then there are certain surgeries, spine surgeries that are done. So that can help them come back. But normally when you talk about the slipping, what they do is they keep alignments, like they give you bands and all to tie around in such a way that the automatically like the alignment of the disc is changed over a period of time. So that
That
is
is for
one way.
minor. Major means surgery.
Yes, major means surgery. Okay. And one more thing, there is something called as scoliosis. Have you
Oh,
heard of
what's that?
scoliosis?
I know
Scoliosis.
coleoptile.
Yeah. So
It is there in
basically,
monopod embryo.
yeah, your vertebral column is kind of curved, correct?
Hmm.
Now imagine a vertebral column which is like, one second, which is like this. Chick, chick, chick. So now
What
your
is that?
vertebral column is like this. Okay.
Hmm.
But people with scoliosis, what will happen is it will not be curved, it will be too much curved.
What's that, ma'am? Like road
It's
it is
actually
there.
a disorder.
Oh,
Okay.
so how will they even look when they're standing?
They won't be able to stand like us straight. They will be like bent.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is the problem. Then they won't be able to like do easily all the daily activities. Their way of walking, everything will change. That's called as scoliosis. Okay. Okay. So coming back to each vertebrae. So like the vertebral column is a set of disc-like structures called as vertebrae. The disc-like structure has two portions. One is the body, which is a round one called as a centrum, and another is a projection, which is in the posterior end.
Hmm.
Okay. Now,
So it has vertebral has two. One is a disc-shaped anterior part, centrum, and posterior protrude.
the posterior, this curve-like structure, which is at the bottom, is called as neural arc.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, like also when the discs are placed, there are some gaps between them. Why these gaps are there? Those tiny gaps helps the spinal nerves to come out.
Hmm.
Okay, so nerves from the spinal cord has to come out, right? So through these small gaps, they end up coming out. Okay, so this is all about your vertebrae. Now coming to the vertebrae, totally 24 vertebrae are there.
Hmm.
Okay, and together they form this canal or the column. Okay, and the spinal cord passes through it.
Hmm.
Okay, now wherever there is an opening, generally the term given for any sort of opening is foramen.
Hmm.
And if you see here in this vertebrae, you have a gap in the center, this gap.
Hmm.
And that gap is called as vertebral foramen.
Hmm.
Is this clear?
Vertebral for foramen.
Foramen.
That hollow this thing.
That's opening between the anterior and posterior. Can you see a gap near the neural arch? That
Between
is
the
called,
neural arch and the centrum.
exactly. That is called as foramen.
Foramen.
Vertebral foramen. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, coming back to the different types of vertebrae. So based on the location, starting from the cervix, then followed by it is thorax. Then is near your abdomen region is lumbar. Little lower than your abdomen region is sacrum. And towards the end of your vertebral column is your coccyx. Okay. So, yes. So how many bones are there in each region is what we are going to see. Okay. So when you talk about your cervix, it's your neck region. Okay. And there are 7 vertebrae in it.
Cervical vertebrae. That is neck.
Yes, the cervical vertebrae are present in the neck and there are 7 of them. Okay. And normally how we name them is based on which area they are present. Say if they are present in the cervical area, we call them as C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. If they are present in thoracic, we'll call them T1, T2, T3 like that. Got it? Now, when we talk about the cervical vertebrae, you like the first 2 vertebrae that is on like near the skull. Okay, That
Hmm.
vertebrae is called as atlas, and the second one is called as axis.
Wait, ma'am. So vertebrae in
Hmm.
cervical part, that is in the neck part.
Hmm.
The first vertebrae there is called axis,
Atlas.
atlas, and the second one is called axis.
This is very important for you to remember. Okay. Like the starting of the vertebral column, what is the vertebrae that is present means it is atlas, and the second one is axis.
Axis. First is atlas, second is axis.
Correct. Okay. It's named after this Greek god. Okay.
Hmm.
Now I'm not very sure of the history behind it, but yeah, this is the name. Okay. Then we come to the thoracic. In thoracic, you have 12 vertebrae.
Hmm.
How many vertebrae was present in cervical?
In cervical, there are 6,
7.
7.
In thoracic, there are 12.
Hmm.
Okay. And then that brings us to lumbar. Lumbar, there are 5.
Sacrum also 5, but all 5 are fused.
Fused. So what will happen is when you're writing it, you will write that 5 within a bracket.
Hmm.
So when I write it within a bracket like this, see,
It means they are fused.
yes, they are fused. So it will be like 5 and bracket, and then you will write S on top. Okay. So that is basically, yeah. So that is basically fused. Okay. That's about sacrum. And then coccyx is again 4 bones which are fused together.
So 4 on top of a C and 4 should be in bracket.
Yes. So now tell me totally how many bones do we have in the vertebral
See,
column?
in cervical 6, 7.
Yeah, 7.
In thoracic 12,
Very good.
19.
Then
5 in lumbar,
very good.
that is 24.
Very good.
5 in sacrum fused, 5 in coccyx fused, so 34. Hello?
Yeah. Tell me.
34, no?
I'm just seeing 7 plus 6, 7, so 14.
Ma'am, 7 plus 12, 19. 19 plus 5 is 24. 24 plus 10 is 34.
How are you getting extra? Da?
Ma'am, 7 plus 12 is 19. 19 plus 5 in lumbar is 24.
Did you consider sacrum and vestigial as 4 plus 5?
Oh, I consider it as 5 plus 5.
No, that's what I'm thinking. No.
It's
Sacrum,
33.
even though there are 5 bones, they are fused, so they are considered a single bone.
Oh, and coccyx also 1.
One bone, even though there are 4, they are considered
So
still a single bone.
totally 26.
26 or 24?
Wait.
Count
9 plus
42.
7 plus 12 is 19. 19 plus 5 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26.
24 only.
24 without coccyx and sacrum.
The vertebral column, yes, correct. Okay. Yeah, correct. So the total number of bones would be in the vertebral column is 26, correct. Okay.
And what
And
is 29? It's written vertebral column is 26.
that is the total till now we have studied in this particular part. Once again, did I lose a count here somewhere? So basically, they are considering the condylic bone. No, that also will not come correct. Condylic bone consider pannalu. How did 29 come there?
I think
Where did
mistake.
we
Total
get-
number of bones will be 34. Because they're fused together. No, all of that they should consider and put 34. And number of this thing in vertebral column should be 29, I think. 26.
29, 26 தான் வரும்.
26 is correct, but total number of bones will be more, I think.
26 you said is without or with the sacrum and
With sacrum and this thing.
coccyx. No. So 26 அப்படி நான் add பண்ணாலும் I won't get 29. I don't know. I'll just check into this bone total number later on and let you know. Okay. But for now, yes, 26 correct. And in the up to the thoracic region, how many vertebrae do you have?
Up to thoracic 7.
Up to thoracic 7.
Ma'am, till thoracic, no, ma'am. Thoracic means
Ah,
only up to thoracic means only cervical. So 7.
Okay. Up to lumbar?
7 plus 14. That is 7 plus 12, 19.
Okay, good. Now, which part of the vertebral column is considered a vestigial tail?
Last part.
What is it called?
Cocky.
Coccygeal,
Coccygeal.
and it's fused to coccygeal. Now,
Four fused.
correct. See that. Okay, so sacrum has 5 fused and coccygeal has 4 fused.
So there are 5.
Correct.
Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum, coccygeal. And the
Yes.
first 2 bones of cervical are called atlas and axis.
Actually, first 2 bones of cervical means the first 2 bones of the entire vertebral column.
Vertebral
itself.
column are called atlas and axis.
So now we come to the last, like not the last, second last part of your axial skeleton, which is called sternum. So sternum is the chest bone which is present at the center of your ribs. Okay. So from the front, they give a support for the ribs. Okay. Now, how is the sternum bone? Even though the
Oh,
sternum
ma'am,
bone,
it is telling 29, I think, because total number of bones up to vertebral column we have learned is 29. In skull has 29 bones.
skull has how many bones in total?
Skull has 29.
Apadi pata, you should add up. This will increase
No,
only.
ma'am, then they've added that. See that now you go see near thoracic, near sternum, 50 something is there because 29 plus that 20.
Oh yeah, correct. They have added it that way. This is so confusing. Why to confuse kids like this unnecessarily? Hey, 1 second. They have not given the sternum structure here. I'm trying to find the sternum structure with the label for you. Good one, good one. Where is it?
Ma'am, you put sternum structure. Too complicated this is. It's like on tie.
This is what I wanted to. Xiphoid process. Yes, yeah, correct. It is like a tie. So this is how your sternum looks, okay? So now I don't want you to learn all the names. What I just wanted to do, you to understand is like how planaria has 3 parts of the body. Same way sternum also has 3 parts. Okay. The top region is called as manubrium.
Ma'am, like what did you compare it to?
Planaria. It looks
Oh,
like planaria.
Some microorganism, no?
Yeah, the tape. It's a tapeworm. Sorry, it's a
How does this
flatworm.
look like planaria, ma'am?
It doesn't look like planaria for you. Planaria also will look like this. Like planaria will have a structure like this. Okay. And planaria will have a head. Planaria will have a body. Planaria will have a tail.
But nothing will be separated in this. Like everything is cleanly. It's like a head of the tie.
Yeah. But it doesn't look separated in planaria. But then also they can separate by fragmentation. Okay. Anyway, that's a different topic. Okay. So here you don't need to learn all the names. They are not very important. But in some of the AIMS paper and all, you would see this term called xiphoid process. Okay, so the xiphoid process is the like the posterior tail-like structure present in sternum. This one. Okay, so that is the thing, and this top, the middle portion is called as a body, and the top portion is called as manubrium. Okay,
topmost is clavicular notch.
No, that is the small curve-like structure is angular notch. This body here
small
is called as manubrium.
And then the whole tie part is the body.
Yes.
And the bottom tip is xiphoid process. So why process?
Xiphoid process. I don't have any clue why they named it as process. Okay. So this is the structure of sternum. Okay. Now, so, but even though the sternum looks partitioned, it is still a single bone.
Mm.
The last one is the ribs. So when you talk about ribs, there are 12 pairs of ribs.
24 ribs, 6 are false.
So 24 ribs, 24 ribs, okay. So 12 pairs of ribs, all the ribs are attached at the back side to the vertebrae.
Vertebral column and then the front side to the sternum.
But now again, how it is attached to the front side, based on that, you have like different types of rib.
True rib is it's properly attached. False rib is floating rib is it's not attached.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how it is. Okay. So you have true rib, false rib, floating rib. So a true rib is the one which is connected in the front to the sternum, and at the back it is connected to the vertebral column. Okay. So here, if you see, what is the main point you need to remember is they are directly connected to the sternum. So the first 7 pairs of ribs, if you see at the back, they are connected to the vertebral column. At the front, they are connected directly to the sternum.
The next few are connected to the other ribs only, not to the sternum.
Yes, the 8th, 9th, 10th basically are connected to the 7th one.
So they're
instead of
called
getting
false
connected to, they're called false rib. Okay, and the
11th
remaining
and 12th.
11th and 12th, they are not at all connected in the front.
Only in the vertebral column.
Yes, they are only connected to the vertebral column. So that is called as floating ribs. They look like they are floating. Okay, so that's about your this one. So when apart,
how do they do lung transplant and all when the rib is covering the lung?
They have to cut through the rib and only do it.
Oh, they cut the rib and all. Oh.
Yeah, of course.
Then how will they put the rib
it
back?
is a sawing process, like, have you seen this carpenters working with the cutter and all those things? Literally, that is what they do. There is a mission also for that, to cut through the bones.
So they take the lung, they put new lungs.
They transplant the lungs from the donor, and after that, what they do is they can't like join the ribs again back because they have cut through it. So normally what they do, they use some other biomedical stuff, like, some kind of a bio compatible material, and they make rod like structures and they connect the ribs wherever they are broken.
Oh, so we'll be sleeping when they do all that.
Of course, you'll be alive means you will die out of pain.
So we won't feel any pain now when they're doing surgery and all.
Of course, you are in anesthesia, no, you won't know anything.
So it'll be like I'm passing out, waking up again, surgery over.
Yeah, surgery over. But then once you are going through the recovery process, you might face a lot of pain and this one. So they give you painkillers and all at that time.
Oh, then what? Stitches and all will automatically melt.
The stitching will basically heal over a period of time as your skin grows.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm always scared of surgeries.
Nowadays, they don't, like, many people don't stitch. They use this bio tapes.
Oh.
Like how you like just put tape over things and cover it. No, same way, that particular region where it was like joined together, they just use bio tapes and stick it together.
After lung transplant, what? That's all. No body won't fight against this thing. Autoimmunity, nothing.
Oh yeah, that and all will happen. They will be under immunosuppressant.
That is cyclosporine.
Yeah, any sort of thing they will do it. So this is the bio tape thing. It looks very simple, no? So instead of the olden day method of stitching, like outside stitches are there, no? So those things will result in scar. So in order to avoid that, they just use bio tape.
But what if bio tape comes off?
It's a like all biocompatible materials, okay? So it is made up of several materials that you need to know.
No, what if when we stretch by mistake it comes out, then our stitching just opens up like a...
No. Those things won't happen. It will heal over a period of time. Yes, of course, it can open. Okay. Like even a stitch also can open. But you need to be very careful during that period. That's why after a major operation, no person will run around because the stitches has to heal. Same way,
1 month
biotape
he'll be
also
sitting,
has to heal.
1 month, 2 months.
Depends upon. It depends upon that particular person
But
and
why
their
do they do
body
lung transplant
ability.
and all?
What?
Why do they do lung transplant and all?
Why do they?
Do lung transplant.
Why do they do lung transplant is very simple. Say, for example, a person is having a lung failure, then they will definitely, but their other organs are functioning properly. It's only their lungs. So they can do lung transplant at that time.
Oh, for even for cancer patient they do, no?
Yeah, so there are certain rules that are to be followed. So the rules are that when you're applying to get a organ, no, they will
Hmm.
see underlying criteria. So if that person is like, say, if there are two patients who
Hmm.
has one has this cancer as a result of which transplant has to be done, another has some other issue like some other genetic disorders.
Hmm.
Okay, then but his vitals are good, but the cancer patient's vitals are not good, then
Hmm.
they would definitely give the lungs to the patient with the vitals good, because his chances of rejecting the lungs is lower.
Hmm.
So it's not like you go to the market, you get the stuff easily. So there's a huge process for it, and finding a donor is also very difficult.
Ma'am, but obviously illegally they get off, no, ma'am.
Illegally, yes, if you have money, you can get it, but not everyone can do that though. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Coming back to, there are certain cartilages that are holding on to your ribs. Okay. And those cartilages
Hmm.
are called as hyaline cartilage.
Hmm.
Okay. So here, if you see in this picture, the yellow color ones are your floating ribs.
Hmm.
Okay. The top ones are the first seven are your true ribs.
Hmm.
And then 8, 9, 10 are the false ribs.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's see this question. Dash pair of ribs are called floating ribs.
Dash pair of
Ribs are called floating ribs.
11th and 12th.
Okay, very good. Okay, so with that, we have completed axial skeletal system.
Hmm.
So I want you to summarize the entire axial skeletal system, Maman.
Ma'am, axial consists of skull, vertebral column, sternum, ribs, skull, cranium,
Okay.
urocical,
Mm.
hyoid, and then this thing,
One
cranium.
second, 1 second, Akshay, just a second. Are you? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. Yes, can you tell me again?
Ma'am, yes. So,
Mm.
we learned about axial, appendicular, and axial. 80 bones are there. So, first
Okay.
part of axial is skull. Skull has
Okay.
totally 29.
Okay.
28 plus 1 hyoid. So,
Okay.
under skull, there is cranium, 8, facial bones, 14, ear ossicles, 3, hyoid,
Mm.
1.
Year article 3 or 6?
3 in 1 year. So, 6 in both
Uh,
years.
uh.
Incus, that is anvil shaped. Malleus, that is hammer shaped. And then
Okay.
steerum shaped is what is that called? Steerum shaped is stapes.
Very good. Mm.
And then below vertebral column,
Mm.
cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral,
Mm.
coxae. coccygeal.
Mm.
So coccygeal and sacral are both, sacral has 5 fused together. Coccygeal has 4 fused together. So both of them you consider as 1 each. Cervical, there are 7. First 2 of the vertebral column are called atlas and axis.
Very
And
good.
then there is thoracic, that has 12. Then
Mm.
lumbar has 5. Totally
Mm.
there are 19 plus there are totally 19 to 26.
Okay.
And then we learned about this thing, sternum. It is one bone. It has what is that? Mindribium, body, and then process. What process? I forgot.
Xiphoid process.
Xiphoid process. It's like a tie shape.
Mm.
And
Then
then we learned about ribs. So ribs are attached in front side by the cartilaginous. What is it called? By something. No, cartilaginous something.
hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage to the ribs, and then back side to the vertebral column. So then first 7 pairs of ribs are true ribs because they're attached both in the front and in the back. The 8th, 9th, 10th pair are attached to the 7th pair. So they're called false ribs. And the 11th and 12th pair are not even attached to the sternum. So they're called floating ribs.
Excellent. I am
Totally
proud
80
of
bones.
you.
Totally 80 bones.
I just hope you remember it also.
I'm a pro, ma'am.
Now only thing that is left out is this appendicular and the type of joints. Then we are done with the chapter. I'll take this up in the next class. Okay.
One more class will finish off. 1.5 hours we'll sit off and finish off.
Yeah, sure. Not sure whether tomorrow I can take 1.5 hours. I'll try my best to complete it tomorrow.
Ma'am, tomorrow we can take twice if you want. Morning sometime, evening sometime.
That would work. I don't want to take at one stretch. Now also I can continue with this. But there are a lot of terms. I want you to at least revise the previous terms before you learn the set of next terms.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you'll end up going mad. Because this is a memory-based chapter. There is nothing for you to understand. You have to remember. So in such chapters, you need to practice and come. So please, just because you got it now, don't read it. Read your textbook.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Tomorrow, 11:30. 11:30, yeah, done. 11:30, I think.
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow, 11:30. Tomorrow is Wednesday only, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have time. Fine, then tomorrow we will take it up.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.